Welcome back to Hell Is Us. This is part 10 of our trophy guide and walkthrough. Before we get started, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so that you always know when I put out a new guide for your viewing pleasure. So starting out, let's come out into this very open area that has a time loop smack dab in the middle. Go straight ahead and take out this enemy that is sort of guarding the time loop. And we're going to work our way all the way around this area, taking out every enemy along the way. We're going to the left from the time loop. We'll have an enemy that has two separate hazes inside. Here I did grab another weapon to use. This is a Lymbic sword that is grief, just to kind of change things up. You'll see that there are ways you can get up to the higher levels. There'll be staircases kind of scattered about. For now, we're staying on the lower level because we can't get to the top from there. Go underneath that bridge and to the right. There's a staircase that leads up that's going to give us access to that ranged hollow that's sitting on that scaffolding. Come and take him out. He is a time loop guardian, so be sure to kill him. That's important because we want to take out this time loop once we're done. There is another enemy hanging out over here on the ground. Go back underneath this bridge and you can climb up the stairs if you like. There's no enemies right there, so we'll just go back down and continue on. Take out the grief haze enemy that is next in line. I'm just looking around for enemies because I don't want to miss any. Spoilers, I do miss one and I have to come back later, but I'm not going to make you sit through me running through it. I'm going to cut the majority of the searching out. You can take out the fat boy. You can see there is an object on that scaffolding that's glowing red. You can climb up here and grab it if you wish. It's a Lymbic battery. When we come down the stairs here, you can see there's a glowing door. Go ahead and open it. This is where we're going to exit once we're finished in the area. For now, go up the stairs. And when you get to the top, you'll see a yellow glowing orb. Grab it. It is a research item, the Crown of Bones. You can come and get this later, of course, but we're just taking it out now because it happens to be in the middle of our path. Come down the stairs and exit through the other door. These enemies laying on the ground are going to reanimate, so take them all out. You can see over by the time loop there is another enemy. This one is a time loop guardian. Now we can continue on our counterclockwise path. Be sure to take out this enemy. Here I'm just double checking to make sure that I didn't miss any enemies up top. You can come over here to the scaffolding and grab the item. Head over to this bridge and there is a fat boy. Pass underneath the bridge to take out this enemy that has a terror haze inside. The swords don't move as quick as the Lymbic axes do. That's why I tend to stick with the Lymbic axes. I just find it's a much faster weapon. Climb up these stairs in the middle and take out this ranged hollow. He's a pain. You can grab the tuning stones. I will be using those later on to upgrade some weapons. But for now I'm trying to naturally upgrade them as much as possible. Go back down to the lower level. And then up here on the side, I'm just checking. We can't pass that way because there is debris that's blocking the way. Pass underneath this scaffolding and go up, and we can find another enemy. Now we are very close to where we first entered. That enemy is a Timeloop Guardian, and it should be the final Timeloop Guardian for the area, which means now we can safely collapse the time loop in the middle. Before we do that, we're going to clean up the last enemy here. Then we want to go to the time loop and enter it.
You have been brought here for the transgression of heresy.
When you get here,
judgment awaits you
will see that we need an Amine Prism Theta to collapse this time loop. So go ahead and equip that onto Cappy and let him go and close this thing up. I am going to fast forward through this so we can get it over with quickly. And when it's done, you'll hear a very strange sound and you'll see a yellow glowing orb. Be prepared. The minute that you go over to that and pick it up, we are going to be thrust into a boss fight. So prepare yourself for that before picking up this item. We're going to have to fight terror hazes. So I do recommend equipping a terror suppressor and choosing your best weapon to go into this fight. When you're ready, interact with the golden orb and you'll be transported to this strange area. And what we need to do, you see how that column is glimmering and glowing? You want to find it, get close to it, and then it'll disappear and run somewhere else. Try to see where it's at, and as you turn your camera, you'll hear voices screaming. You want to head toward the voices. So use your eyes to find the glimmers of green, and use your ears to listen to the screaming. Sometimes this can be quite difficult. It's easier if you have a pair of headphones, but for me, I only use the headphones if I am live recording while I'm playing, or if I am doing what I'm doing now, which is post-recording editing. So for me, it was a little bit harder to hear. I had to turn my sound system way up. Which I do have surround, so I can tell where it's coming from, if it's the left or the right or straight ahead. But it does get a little bit difficult. And because there's so much sort of fog in the area, it can be hard to see which statue is kind of glowing. So you may find yourself doing this, just kind of wandering around and looking for any little glimpse. Now, once you find the glowing pillar for the third time, you'll have to defeat a terror haze. And these are much more difficult than the ones that pop out of enemies, because these can go anywhere. There we earned the Fear No Evil trophy. That is for defeating all 3 Haze of Terror variants. So once you get level 1, level 2, and level 3 defeated, you'll get that trophy. And there's one for each Haze variant. Now you can see there's a large bar at the top that gives you the overall health of the boss, but there'll be mini bars over the individual enemies. Once you get to this point, you'll see that there are walls of terror that'll start spinning around these columns. They do take your health away, and it does help to use the terror suppressor here. It kind of lessens the damage that you take from anything terror related. You have to run around and find these hazes, the terror hazes, and it is very often difficult to tell where they are. Sometimes you have to find the glowing pillar, and sometimes the haze is really just hidden somewhere, and it does like to run away. It'll get very far away, and then you have to go and fight it, and then it disappears completely. We've taken off about 2/3 of its overall health. So at this point, we're just going to start running around, and the haze will randomly appear. So you'll just be running through the area, and the haze will randomly just pop up, and you have to take a swipe or 2 at it before it disappears again. And all the while you have these terror walls that are spinning around the columns. And they like to do that, you know, when you're in the middle of fighting the haze, it'll just appear in front of you. They're super annoying. This is by far the worst boss fight, for sure. It's not bad, it's just annoying because so much of it is random and based on very slight visual cues and slight audio cues. Find your way back to the glowing pillar. There you can see I'm using some terror suppressors to help. Once you take out the haze, you will again be transported to the area where we took out the time loop. You'll be granted the rusted key as well as the Keystone of Terror. So now that that is completed, we're finished with the Keystone of Terror segment. We can go ahead and exit the area. This is the same room where we found the Crown of Bones. On the bottom level, you can use the rusted key to open up that door. Take the stairs down and to the right to grab an ecstasy suppressor, and then take the stairs down and to the left where we can actually exit. In this room, you'll see a glowing chest. Use the brass key to unlock it and we'll get a defensive item that solves the Righteous Protection mystery. And once that's done, you can hop on the elevator and pull the lever. And we're gonna go all the way down. So if you remember when we first entered the Arcus Spire, I showed you a door that we couldn't open and said we would be coming back through that door. That's where we're headed. In the meantime, you'll have a conversation with Tanya through Cappy while you're descending.
I didn't feel like driving that day. Here's the kicker. I always drive. Always. My photographer, Mark, he took the brunt of the blast. I'm only here because I was too fucking lazy.
It's strange how the smallest decision can have such an impact.
it always been hard code maths with you?
As far as I can remember.
I wish I was more like you.
No. No, you don't.
When you get to the bottom, be sure to grab the tuning stones before you open up the door. And here you can see we're back at the entrance of the spire. We're just gonna make our way back over to the save point. Warp back over to the APC and you can hop inside. We are going to do a little bit of research with Tanya.
Now we need 2 more. We can go over the clues for the next one.
You can speak to her first.
Let me know if you
And
want
just so
more
you
information
know,
on
every
anything
time you
find out
get a
there.
new keystone, you'll be prompted to ask her something like, what do I do
What am
with
I
this
supposed to do
keystone
with
now?
this keystone?
You must return to the
She's going to
Lymbic
give you
Forge,
the same answer each time. Next, we want to ask about the symbol
What
of the
information did you
two-headed
find out about this
snake.
symbol?
It was the symbol used by a cult.
She'll
in the
give
late
us some
63. Due to
information,
the cult's
but
rising
if you were paying
popularity,
attention
the
when we were
Inquisition
over in
Palom was
Vista
formed to
Hills,
hunt down its
you'll
members.
know
The
that this
Inquisition
is the
kept the only
area
surviving
where
copy of the
we're
cult's
going to
code.
be
It was stored in
investigating
the archives at the Patham Abbey in
snakes.
Akasa Marshes.
Once that's done, you can choose to
something
do some
interesting.
research with her. We have 5 new items to
Interesting.
research, which
I'll
will
look it
not
up.
be enough to get another Vault of Forbidden Knowledge.
Interesting
But
find.
there are
Let's
so
see what
many,
the
you
server
might as
can tell us
well.
about
If
it.
you don't want to do research right now, you don't have to. You can wait until
find.
you have
I'll look it
more
up.
items. If you want to only do it when you know you can get
Nice.
a new vault
I'll have a
code.
look in the database.
So here,
Let's see what
with
the Zeal server
5
has to say about
items
this one.
researched, it looks as though we got about 2/3 of that bar full. So we're quite a bit closer to another vault code. For now, let's go over to the map and travel to Vista Hills. The first thing that we're going to do is make a pit stop over to Gildas.
Oh, fucking hell.
On the way, you do get another cutscene. You can see we got a new styling option. Pretty much, Remy just took his hat off. I don't know how much of a styling option that is, but you know, I guess it's a thing. So climb up the ladder and head straight over to Gildas. We've done quite a few good deeds, and we've taken out a couple of time loops, so we might as well collect any
Remember,
rewards that he may
whenever-
have waiting for us.
What's our status on time loops?
Good. You closed a few of them.
We do get quite a few good things from Gildas.
Have I helped enough Hadians?
Hadians are lucky to have...
That was quite a bit of loot we just collected. If you like, you can go into your data pad and equip anything that you think you may want to use, or look deeper into the different glyphs and relics and defensive items that we've collected and equip any of them you feel you may use. When you're done talking to Gildas, I did hop back in the APC because during the cutscene we were told that there's an item under the passenger seat. Go ahead and interact with that. You get a drone module and an APC code sheet. She did give us today's code as well. This opens up a mystery for Outpost number 8, and we're going to head over to Acasa Marshes before we get started with hunting down the Keystone of Ecstasy. We're just going to go and complete this mystery really quick. While we're here, we may as well pay a visit to Viktor because we do have another crafting tome to hand over to him.
What needs my attention?
So just go to study and give him that book. You can then upgrade any weapons or defensive gear that you would like to. I do spend quite a bit of time trying to decide what I'm going to upgrade. Here you can see this says vanquishing an enemy restores your health and stamina for the Brooch of Rage, bathe in blood. I highly recommend using this item. Equip it and use it. It is very highly effective.
Welcome back.
Here you can also talk to Viktor because we have new investigation dialogue for him. I could have done this earlier, but I just kept forgetting. So you can go ahead and take care of it now.
Where is the Abbey?
These are some questions related to Abbot Jaffer, and we're going to go and see him in just a little bit.
Sad day indeed.
So that will help to confirm where we're supposed to go. You can also let him know that Vitalis has passed on. For now, let's leave here and we're gonna go over to the Hermit. I'm also going to be doing a lot of clearing of this area because we should be doing a Timeloop Collapse here. We should be doing 2 actually. So once this time loop is gone, all of the level 1 area enemies in the area, the ones that are dead will stay dead. There is another time loop here, but it's over in the Abbey, and those are all level 2 enemies. At this point though, I was not trying to enter the time loop. I was trying to pick up an item off of the ground, and we cannot enter it yet because not all of the time loop guardians have been taken care of. And to be fair, the other times that we were here, the time loop guardians that we were waiting for, they were not in this area just yet. For now, we want to head over to the Hermit. You can take out any enemies along the way. Most of these guys are super easy now. I'm using a lesser weapon just to kind of level it up, but even that, you know, these guys are, the level ones are just so easy at this point. I know the Hermit is right there to the right. I'm just taking a little detour to get rid of this guy because I know that I'm getting rid of the time loop, so all these guys that I kill are not going to return once the time loop's taken care of. And once you start clearing out enemies, it does make it easier when you do have to come back and look for enemies that you may have left behind. It's a lot easier to figure that out when most of the area is clear. Come over to the Hermit and look at his corkboard, and you see the picture directly in the center. That is the code to this puzzle that's just over here to the left of him if you're looking out from his cabin. We did pass this earlier, but we didn't have the solution. So now we're going to take out these enemies that are connected to the Rage Haze, just to get them out of our way so we can complete the puzzle. And the easiest way to complete this puzzle, we have to look at this from the same vantage point that the Hermit would. So break out your compass, and we want to start at the pillar that's facing east, and we want to move it to where there are 2 spikes. Then move clockwise and do 4 spikes, and these are facing the middle, by the way. The pictures are facing the middle. Then you want to switch to the circle, and finally in the last picture you want the bow and arrow. A hole will open up in the middle, and we will solve the mystery of the Hermit and get tuning stones, a glyph, another glyph, and a relic. This solves the mystery of the Hermit and gives us the Curator trophy, which we earned for finding 10 relics. Now we're going to head from that statue puzzle. We're heading to the left. We're trying to get away from the Hermit at this point. But we're going to take out all these enemies along the way. I know we've already come this way, but there are a few things that have changed. So you'll see there are piles of, it looks like burning books or a bonfire of some sort. That was not here before, but it is now. So it's kind of like a little landmarker. These always appear right in front of the Abbey. We're not going to go into the Abbey just yet. We're going to head over where the highway is. If you remember, we picked up a Limbic rod at the end of it. We're going to head back over there because there are a few new enemies that have appeared. In the meantime, I'm just going to take this guy out. There are a couple of them down there as well. The ranged enemies, of course, are super annoying and can ruin your day. So getting rid of them first is very, very helpful. I'm going to come down over to this side, and all 3 of these enemies are connected to a haze. These are level 2 enemies. As you know, they were not here before. We have taken out a Timeloop Guardian, which is really great. Those guys won't be returning. We're working our way back over. I guess it's toward the Abbey, but off to the right of it on this highway. You can make a detour to the right here because now there are enemies here. These guys were not here earlier, but they are level 2s. This is also a Timeloop Guardian. Make your way all the way to the end of this paved street, and you can see 2 enemies hanging out at the end here where there was a Lymbic rod. I don't know why I thought the Haze was gone, but it isn't. I'm wasting my time hacking away at these guys and the Haze is still there. These 2 enemies are also a Timeloop Guardian, so be sure to get rid of them. And then we're going to work our way back the way that we came. Looks like I'm going to stop and take a minute to look at my data pad. I think I'm trying to decide which weapon I want to switch out with the Sword of Grief. And I guess I went with the Polearm of Terror. It's good to change up the weapon sometimes, I think. But after playing with all of them, I know for sure that my favorite is the Twin Axes. It's just, it has the most flow to it. Again, if you remember, I said many videos ago that there are a lot of enemies that hide in the water. They'll just be playing possum in the water, and the only way to aggro them is to run through the water that they're in. So that's why you see me running through these puddles, because I'm trying to make sure that I aggro all of them and take them all out, because I don't want them coming back once the time loops are gone. Now we're heading back over to the side entrance of the Abbey. You can see there's a bonfire burning here, and there is an enemy hanging out here. Once this guy is taken out, we'll be able to go inside. There were 2 officers here before and we couldn't go in, but now we can. So from the entrance, from the swamp, it's to the right. If you go to the left, it's just an alcove and you can't go anywhere. Be sure to hit the save when you're going down the linear path. And once you get to this room, there will be an enemy on the ground floor waiting for you. This, of course, is going to be a Timeloop Guardian because he spits out 3 different hazes. So once you've finished with him, that is the last Timeloop Guardian associated with this particular time loop. We haven't seen it yet, but we're about to, the time loop itself. So come up the other side of the stairs and we can go up the ladder. You'll see there's an enemy over there, but we're going to circle around and come back to it later. Just drop down into this cave-like area. Make your way around and you'll see Abbot Jaffer standing here. Stop and speak to him. Be sure to exhaust all of his investigation dialogue.
The holy passages, the warnings.
You're going to get a lot more as you continue to talk to him. More items will pop up.
They couldn't break through the door. It was as if TR. I'm looking for the Gospel of TR. Do you know where it is? I know the book you were inquiring. Time and humidity had caught up. It was our duty to send it to the National.
Once you're finished speaking to him, you'll get a new area that's discovered, the Leth National Library. We'll go there later. Over here behind him, you can pull the lever to open up that gate, and then you have these torches. Turn only the one to the right. It looks like a sun. It's the one on the right when you leave Jaffer. Go through the door, slide down the ladder, and take out the enemy that's waiting for us at the bottom. I do find, like, I'm using Terror here, a polearm of Terror, but I find if you're fighting a Haze that is the same as the weapon that you have, it doesn't do as well. That's just my personal opinion. Before we enter the time loop, go behind it to the right and you can pick up Limbic Rod Terror Z. Then we can enter this time loop and have Cappy collapse it for us. Here, this is a Theta tier time loop. So attach a Theta prism to Cappy and let him go and tend to the tough stuff. Which, if you look closely at Cappy, you can see he looks like an owl, and there's talk that they used to use owls to close time loops back in the day. I think that's pretty neat. Be sure to pick up the research item Terracotta Oil Lamp. There's an exploration item, Golden Clover, that starts the Protector mystery. You need to grab all of those items before we leave the area. Once you leave, you'll go out the way that we came in, climb up this ladder, and then you'll want to go to the left and climb the next ladder. And this will bring us over to that enemy we saw earlier. From here, we can just exit the Abbey normally. It's a very, very small area. Thank goodness. Once we leave here, we're gonna be back out into the marsh area. We're just gonna head back toward Jova. But follow the path that I take, because we're going to find another time loop guardian, and it should be the final one for the time loop that is on the main street. So from the broken bridge, you want to head toward the time loop. You can see here that we can't pass. I did stop off to pick up a med kit and a meal. You can pick that up if you like, but you don't have to. What you're really looking for is this wooden bridge that connects these two pieces of land. Here there's a fat boy that's a level 1, and then you'll aggro a bunch of humanoids. Just take these guys out. You can see the time loop is off to our left. There's a glowing red orb straight ahead. It's a drone bypass. And off to the right, there's one lone enemy here that has a rage haze inside of it. Let's take care of that. And that is the final time loop guardian for the time loop that is on the main street. For now, we're making our way back to the paved road. We can now enter this time loop, and this should be a Sigma tier time loop. We should have plenty of Sigmas. Yes, we have plenty. Attach that to Cappy. It looks like I tried to use the wrong one. I was trying to use Theta, but it just needs Sigma. This is for the level 1 enemies. Let Cappy do his thing and collapse this time loop so that we can be done with all this mess. And you can come and take a look at what was trapped inside if you like. For now, we're going to head over to the area where the tree is with the people that are hanging from it. There should be a few enemies around in this area. that we can get rid of for good. They won't reappear once we take them out. That's the great thing about taking out the time loops is so many enemies just don't respawn. It's so much better. And Casa Marshes is so big. It's got all of these little places strewn about through it that enemies can just hide in, and it's super annoying. So getting rid of the time loops is going to be very, very helpful for us. At this point, I'm really just running around and clearing out the area. We are going to go and do a couple more things here. But for now, we just got to get rid of these guys. Where I am is going back toward where the Hermit is now. We're headed to the main road, back to, remember where we rescued Viktor and Lieutenant Rue inside that tunnel? We're headed back to that area. We might as well go inside the tunnel because I know there are a ton of humanoid enemies in here, and this will be the last time that we have to fight them because they won't respawn. We can also collect quite a lot of shards. Not that we need the small ones too much anymore, but, you know. You guys remember, but when we came over here, that tiny set of ruins right in front of us, there was a Lymbic chest here. We can go ahead and open that up now. We have the Limbic rods needed to open it up. Let's just take all of these guys out first. Head over to the chest and insert the correct rod. Inside we get a glyph. And we solve the mystery of the Limbic chest in Casa ruins. This is that spire puzzle we saw earlier. Just take out the enemy here so that he doesn't return. I'm pretty much just circling my way through the marshes to be sure that all of these enemies are gone for good. And we have made our way back around to the hanging tree. Now, next up, we want to go over to the OMSIF Camp. You can see it over here. This whole thing was locked down earlier. I don't even think we went real close to it, but we couldn't get inside. Well, now we can because the person that we've been talking to through the radio in the APC, she told us where to find the code sheet that was hidden underneath the passenger seat. We can use that to input the code to get into the OMSIF camp. And remember, she tells you what today's code is, which number it is. So just look at that code sheet and find it. The code is 151991. That opens up these doors. You can get a recording first thing off of the dead body. And then we want to take all of these guys out that are connected to the Grief Haze. None of these guys are very difficult. They're all level 1. Inside this first tent, we're going to find a drone module. And you can also look at the computer and get a report on Arbeth, who is the lady we speak to in the APC, that solves the mystery of observation outpost number 8. Go to the left tent and pick up Limbic rod neutral W, and you can look at this computer as well to get some more information. Once you're finished looking inside all of these tents, we're going to work our way through this camp, which is a very, very small area. Let's go behind the APC that's parked there, and we're going to go around the rocky path. There will be some enemies here, nothing difficult, all level 1s. Just take them out. Continue on down this path. Take out this enemy, which has both hazes inside. Funny that that one wasn't a Timeloop Guardian. Be sure to grab the OMSIF deployment orders and the drone bypass. We're continuing around this ruins area, and there's a fat boy here that also has 2 hazes inside of it, although he's not very difficult at all. There was a cave there to the left. I'm just going to go around and take out this enemy here. On the dead body, there's a research item, which is the high-tech case. I know I really went over it really fast. I didn't mean to pick it up when I did, but it is a research item and it's a high-tech case. Be sure to pick it up off of the dead body directly in front of that final enemy. Then turn around and come inside this cave, and you can see there's a vault of forbidden knowledge here. We do not have the code for it yet, so we'll leave it for later. We do tend to come back here pretty often, so I'm sure we'll be making our way back here pretty soon. Take out all of these humanoid hollow walkers. And when you get down to the end here, this is our final enlightenment torch puzzle. And this time we need to move both torches. The ground will shake, indicating that somewhere a door has been opened. So that means enlightenment is now complete. All we have to do is find the door that opened. Which, you know, I guess it should be, you should know where it is, because we did see it over in the sewers, but after everything else that we've done, it would probably be hard to remember if you weren't taking notes. I always take notes. So I'm here to help you. For now, we are going to exit this area. We're going to head back over into Jova. I'm going to stop off and take out this fat boy so that he doesn't come back later. Oh, it's going to be so nice running through here and not seeing enemies all over the place. Don't forget that back here next to the ON camp, there are some humanoid hollow walkers that like to hang out at the dead end. Might as well take them out now so that we don't forget about them later on. And then we're going to head back up to the save point near Viktor to end this video. So thank you all so much for watching. Please remember to hit like and subscribe so you always know whenever I'm coming out with a new trophy guide. And I can't wait to see everybody back here in part 11. Until then, Khajiit always has wares.